Good evening. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. Oh, I'm not actually. No, yay. We are doing a yin-yang-yin. Oh, better sort that out. Yin-yang-yin class this evening because it's full moon tomorrow. And so we will start with some deep stretches, move with a bit of flow, and then finish with some deep stretches. Do what you can do. If you're feeling any pain in your joints, always come out of the pose. And yeah, just make sure it feels good. If those of you that have a stronger practice normally, if you need more, then just add in some extra vinyasas. And I'll try and offer some poses here and there when I can. All right, I'm just going to say a quick hello because the chat was great today. Hello, Linda. Yay, you're back again. That's amazing. Harriet's back. Hi, Harriet. Nice to see you. Amandine, oh my goodness, 5 a.m. That is early. Hope you're well. Linda, Amandine, Janet, no Eve, but Janet's here. Yay. Helen, hello, welcome back. Ella, lovely to see you. Liz is here. Celia is here. Yay, you're in the chat. Yay. Paulina. Renette's here. Yay. And Asha and Brendan. Amazing. I'm so lucky to have you all here. All right. Well, enjoy the class. Like I say, if you need more, take more. If you need less, take less. This is really part of our yoga practice is about learning what works for us and what doesn't. So then when you come into the yoga class, it's not about the teacher or what they're offering. It's about what you take from that class. So it really is just about you. So we're going to start in wide knee child's pose. I said cushions and blankets, so we'll definitely need the blankets underneath our knees for some of the poses. So make sure you've got those. Wide knees. So the knees would come out about as wide as the mat and the big toes touching. And then from there, you can release the head down to the floor. If it doesn't reach the floor, you can use a cushion, you could use blocks, or you can make pillow with fists in the hands. Just make sure that the head is resting on something. Now, the hips won't always naturally come down to the heels, so don't worry. Again, you could use blocks or cushions underneath. So we'll be here for a minute or so, just connecting, grounding. So make sure that you are comfortable and not in any pain. Make sure you can be here for that minute or so. First, just feel that weight and that heaviness as you release it down into the earth. Really good releasing breath is just to sigh out. So that sometimes can help release just that little bit more. Deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Let that day go. What a beautiful day though it was. Inhale, last one. And exhale. Good. And now just a normal breath for you. In and out through the nose, unless you have a cold or unless you ever feel the need for one of those sighs, just letting it go. So there's that opening of the inner thighs and hips. So feeling into that stretch, so long as there's no pain. Maybe notice the longer you hold these poses, the more you can go further into them. Or maybe the opposite happens, and that is the case for some. So don't worry if that is the case. You can always come out if you need. A modification for child's pose, if it really doesn't work for your knees, is to lie down on the belly or the back. Just make sure that you are looking after your joints in these poses. Okay, so following that breath in and out through your nose, expanding every inhalation and releasing every exhalation. So we're going to do a few poses that we did on Monday for anyone that was there, similar, but we're going to just hold them a little bit longer. So if you've got any intention that you'd like to set, sometimes it's called a sankalpa in yoga, and it always stays the same. Or for you, this intention could change each and every class. So just having anything to mind that you want to achieve or get out of this 1 hour that we have together. Having that and holding that within your mind now. And we're going to come up into our next pose, but slowly, as always, out of poses that are quite yin that we've held. You come up onto the hands very slowly and then draw the knees slightly back in so they're about hip distance. Slowly lift the hips away from the floor and then just finding your all fours position. We're going to go from all fours into puppy pose. So the knees stay directly underneath the hips. The only thing that's going to move are the hands and the heart. So you walk your hands away at a diagonal. So they come to maybe, let's say, a 45-degree angle, let's say roughly. The fingers are spread as if you were doing downward dog. The tailbone is lifted so the hips are still high and you're bowing the chest down towards the floor. For me, I find it more comfortable to come down with the chin facing down into the earth. So my head is in this angle. For some, they have the forehead down. So, and it will connect there further quicker. Now, if neither of those work, you'll just hover in space and the chest is away from the floor. But the idea is the same. You're pressing the chest down to the floor, and then you get this amazing stretch in between the shoulder blades, going all the way out to the outsides of the body, of the shoulders. So yeah, holding it for as long as you can. And those of you that are hanging in space, you'll want to release it out of it sooner. So whenever you need to, you would just walk the hands back to your all fours, and that's where we'll meet. Not too much longer now, just a few more deep breaths. This is a really good stretch in between the shoulder blades. Hopefully, if it's too much, of course, release. And then to release, you would lift the chin away, the elbows away, and then walk the hands back to shoulder distance. Coming into thread the needle. Without the balance, for anyone who was here on Monday, we'll just take the right arm underneath the left. Thread it all the way through. If you can, you'll come onto the right shoulder, right side of the head, and you'll bend the left elbow at maybe a right angle. And that will really help to press that left hand into the earth. Now you want to imagine that the hips are neutral. You won't be able to see. So to kind of feel it, you want to feel as if both knees are pressing down equally into the floor. Noticing that now. And there's variation. If you want it, the left arm could lift on the inhale, and on the exhale you could bend the elbow and see if you can wrap that left hand around that right thigh, so opposite thigh. Otherwise it'll be on the lower back. And we'll just stay wherever you are for a few more breaths. Of course, release out if you need. So like I say, just doing a few yin postures before we get into the yang side. So it's a really nice and soft way to start with the body. So inhaling that left arm, exhaling it down, and then unthread and come back to all fours. Same on the other side, so left arm threads through, bend the right elbow as you come down onto the left shoulder, left side of the head. If not, again, you'll be hovering in space, which is absolutely fine. If you've got cushions, you could rest on a cushion. Just make sure that you can be there for a few breaths, and if not, just come out of it. So hopefully you can still hear me. You're staying there. In fact, I'll come out for a few more breaths. So left side. A few more breaths. Deep breath in through the nose. And if you did on the other side, you could lift that right arm up on the breath in. Exhale, bend the elbow. See if you can wrap it around that left thigh. And then that gives a little bit more openness. I should say, but that right arm will only lift if you're resting very comfortably and securely on that left shoulder. All right, let's come out. So lifting right arm up if it was anywhere there, and then bringing it to the floor. Slide back or unthread and come back to all fours. Great. First downward dog. So set up the position. Hands a little bit further forward. Spread the fingers, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Find that upside down V shape. So from here, you want to bend and one knee at a time. If it's really tight, then you just need to have more bend in the knees. You don't need to do the pedaling the feet on the spot. But if you like this walking the dog, maybe alternate with this little twist. So you look underneath the opposite arm to the bent knee. So you bend your left knee, look under your right armpit, and vice versa. Should feel quite good to do that a couple of times on each side, nice and slow. And then bend both knees. So you could touch your chest to your thighs or thereabout with the bum still lifted. Look forward as if you were about to pounce, and then just slowly creep the feet forward. Eventually the fingertips will curl off the floor, feet hip distance, deep bend in the knees, holding opposite elbows. Just really relax and let go. So you want to see if you can rest your chest on your thighs. So the deeper the knees bend, maybe that will help. And then you really want to let go of the head and neck. So you can check yes or no, no tension in the neck. And then we're going to roll up from ragdoll. So release the arms, keep the head, the neck, the shoulders, and the knees soft as you find your way up to that standing position, Tadasana. Shoulder roll if that feels good. Great. We're going to move through the flow section. So we will get a little bit of heat, a little bit of movement here. Remember to rest if you need it. So feet either together or hip distance, whatever works for your Tadasana. Palms are facing forward. Ground down with your feet open across the heart center as you squeeze your shoulder blades together. On the inhale, take a circle with the arms. Reach the fingertips high as you ground the feet down. Then exhale, bend the knees and hinge from the hips. Eventually, the fingertips will come down. You might need a deep bend in the knees to get them there. Relax your head and neck. Inhale, wave the spine to straight. Hands on your shins. Press your shoulder blades down the back. And then exhale, forward fold. Now step right foot back. You're going to do 3 rounds of this. So drop your right knee down, front knee over the ankle. Those that this is tight, just keep the fingertips on the floor, but work on straight spine. So thinking chest to thighs, crown of the head up to the sky. Now, those of you that haven't already, you can circle the arms up towards the sky. So we don't normally take a back bend, but anyone that likes a back bend, you're welcome to bring the palms together, looking up to the thumbs. We haven't warmed up much, so if you want a gentle back bend, you reach the hands back behind you. Otherwise, we're in this neutral position. You're trying to almost suck the belly in towards the spine, the ribs coming in just to prevent any overarching. On the exhale, we all ground the hands down, spread the fingers, tuck the toes, and step back. High plank, push-up pose. Press the floor away, press the heels away, engage your core, your center, and then exhale, lower down, knees to the floor as you bend the elbows. Inhale, lift head, heart, shoulders, and even the hands if you like, that back, fire. And then exhale, hands down. Go through bent knees, hips to the sky, downward dog. Feet, hip distance, really ground down with the feet. Now, if it is a new pose, the heels will be high up. In fact, make them even higher, pressing the chest towards the thighs. That can really help. You want to spread your shoulders away from your ears, but also away from each other. So shoulder blades coming to the outside of the body. Now look forward, step, walk, or anything else in your practice. Inhale, flat back, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale to stand, so press down with the feet, roll through, or reverse one dive. And then exhale, release. Doing the same, but on the left. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, hinge forward, coming into your forward fold. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, forward fold again. Now step left foot back, take the same variation you did, dropping the knee down. So if you're on the fingertips, Think about straight spine, looking forward. If you're bringing the arms up, take them shoulder distance and think about sucking the belly in. And if you're taking the back bend palms together, looking to the thumbs, gently back bending. Exhaling, bring the hands down, all of us, and then find high plank. Now, if you ever want to skip these, you can just go back to a child's pose or straight up to down dog. Otherwise, lower down on the knees, bend the elbows to the floor. Inhale, baby cobra, lift head to heart, shoulders, hands perhaps, and then exhale, find your downward dog. Spread the fingers, lift the hips, and feet hip distance. Lifting the tailbone, so it should be the highest part of your body. We want to think, as in most poses, that the spine is straight. So if it helps, have that bend in the knees. Also good for sciatica and anyone with tight hamstrings. Now look forward, step walk, or jump to the front. Flat back on the inhale, and then fold on the exhale. Inhale to stand. Press down with the feet, circle the arm. And then exhale, release. Okay, one movement, one breath. So inhale, maybe a little bit faster, but see how you feel. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale to your halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Right foot's going to step back. We have the option, dropping the knee, to take a twist. If you're staying in this version, just think straight spine. Otherwise, inhale, reaching the arms up. And then exhale. So from here, it'll look like this. You'll bring your hands together at the heart. You're going to take your right elbow outside your left knee. If you cannot reach it there, you're just going to twist to your right to any left, any degree. Otherwise, right elbow outside left knee. Now, if you have that connection, think thumbs in line with heart to get even more of a twist on that lower spine. And then the gaze would either be to the right or over that right shoulder, depending on your neck, or down if you need more stability. To come out, you're going to look forward and reach the arms up. Exhale, hands down, step back. Take a vinyasa of choice. So if you have any other variation, always taking that. Those of you that like a challenge, you can come down without lowering the knees. Come down as slowly and with as much control as possible. You'll either take upward dog or cobra. Now, if you're safe in back bends, you can come up higher, otherwise stay in that low version. Exhale, we all meet in downward dog. And that's here. Okay, for downward facing dog, you're going to bring your feet together. So from here, lifting your right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Doesn't matter how high it comes, just lifting the leg. And on the exhale, bend the knee. Bring it in between the elbows, hugging that knee in towards the chest, lifting, and then releasing that right foot down in between the hands. Left foot will follow. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, forward fold. From there to stand, press down with the feet. You can roll up or reverse swan dive. And then exhale, release. Same on the other side. So inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, dive forward, hinging from the hip crease. Flat back as you lengthen, and then exhale, forward fold. Now left foot steps back. For the twist as an option, drop the back knee down. If you're here, just work on straight spine. Otherwise, inhale, reaching the arms up, and exhale, hands to your heart. You're either going to twist to your right or bring your left elbow outside your right knee. The knee still stays tracking over the ankle, and then thumbs in line with heart. If you want more of a twist, choose your gaze point, your drishti, down to your right or over your right shoulder. And then look down and forward. Inhale, reach the arms up, exhale down. And find your vinyasa. You can skip them by going straight back into a downward dog where we meet. So our vinyasa is from a high plank through with or without bending the knees. Inhale to a back bend of choice, low or high, or not at all, and then hips to the sky, downward dog. And that's where we meet. Feet together, lightly touching, lifting your right leg, keeping the toes facing down, or keep your hips in a lovely alignment. And then as you exhale, bend your left knee, Bring it in between the heart, in between your elbows. Hug it in and then release it. Okay, and then from there, right foot will follow. Into your forward fold and flat back as you breathe in and fold as you breathe out. Inhale, you can roll up through the spine or reverse one down. Shoulder roll. Great. Okay, so next round we'll have with a Utkatasana or chair pose. So sinking, bending the knees, sinking the hips low as if it was sitting in a chair. You want to think as if your weight in the heels. So if you look down, you could see at least your big toes. If not, challenge yourself. Bring the weight further back. It will feel like you're going to fall back. Don't worry. Lower as low as you can without any pain in the joint. Last few breaths. So arms in line with shoulders. Those that want to work a little bit harder, you can always hit the palms together and look to the thumbs. It's a back bend. Exhale, release the hands down, release the head, the neck. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, release, step back. Right foot. Those that want to challenge, you'll come up to high lunge. Those that are modifying, you'll just drop the back knee. Either here, straight back, or reaching the arms up. If you're in high lunge, a little bit more of challenge with the balance. The front knee stays over the ankle, the fingertips still reach up to the sky. You're going to take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, interlace the hands behind you. It's a little bit of a shoulder work and also back bend if you want. You reach the hands towards the back of the mat, towards your back heel, and if you can look up to the sky. And then releasing the hands up, down on the exhale. Choose your vinyasa or skip it. Downward dog or child's pose if you need rest. And we just meet downward facing dog, but please stay in child's pose if you need that rest. Because we've just got the other side. So feet together, right leg lifts, three-legged dog, bending that knee, bringing it in between your chest, your heart, head towards that knee, and then releasing that foot. And slowly the left foot will follow. Take as many steps as you need. Left, inhale, lengthen, and fold, exhale. And then through chair, bend knees, sit low, reach the arms up, and then exhale, Tadasana. There's the warmth I needed earlier. So left side, to complete our flow, bend knees, lift arms, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. And then exhale, left side. So you'll either take low lunge or high lunge. Your choice. Front knee stays over the ankle either way. Arms reach up. Inhale. If you took the hands behind you version, you take the same clasp but with the opposite forefinger in front. The more you press that back heel away, reach the hands behind you, you'll get that into the back. You could even look up if you want a challenge to that already off balance. Now look forward, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, release them down, and then you can choose. You might feel warm enough to skip it. Otherwise, lower down through any vinyasa. You'll know by now which one works. And if none do, straight up to down dog. 4, the other side. Left leg will lift, three-legged dog, and exhale, bending that knee, bringing it in between the heart, and then foot in front of hands, right foot will take as many steps as you need to the front. Flat back as you inhale, and fold, exhale. And last chair here, so sit low, imaginary chair, reaching the arms forward and up. Anyone that wants to work that little bit of a challenge, you can come up onto the tiptoes here. So you're imagining you're in stiletto, still in your chair. And those that love a challenge, you can come up to straighten the legs on the tiptoes and then release. Take a shoulder roll. Great. We've got our warrior 2 variations now. So step your right foot back nice and wide. We're going to go straight into warrior 2. So the foot faces the long edge. Your front knee still in that right angle. Now the hips face this long edge too, and the arms come out to shoulder height. The drishti or the gaze would always be your front middle finger, unless you have any neck pain and it just needs to be straight, of course. And then just always periodically check that that front knee hasn't moved to the side or beyond that knee, which can just cause a little bit of strain over time. So holding our warrior two, I'm going to take it into some flows now, which I find really work with that full moon energy. So inhale, straightening the leg, reaching the arm up, and then exhale, floating back, warrior two. We do 3 more. Inhale, straightening the leg and reaching the arms up. I look up as I come up, but you can use any neck position that works. Last 2. And last one, exhale, find warrior two. We're going to stay here, but those that want a little challenge, you can flip the front hand, reach forward, and exhale, take the back hand to the back leg. Now normally you could have the arm straight up in line with its shoulder or back overhead, but that's really strong in the back. So really listen to your body, and then the inhale will bring you back. We'll all go into some sort of side angle. So the right forearm, left forearm will come down to the left thigh and the right arm will come up, either in line with its shoulder or overhead at the diagonal, just as you might have done. And anyone, again, that wants the challenge, you could choose to lift your left arm and reach it as if you were holding a beach ball. That suddenly brought a lot of energy and fire into that front thigh. Of course, if it's too much, just release, but with a light touch with that elbow. Okay, inhale, reach, and exhale, ground the hands down, frame the front foot, pivot on the back toes, and you can choose to take a vinyasa, those that want more, or straight into downward dog. Remember, if it's tight and just feels rounded, just deep, deep bend in the knees, press your chest towards your thighs, and at any time, drop onto the knees and take rest in child's pose. All right, so we've got that all over on the other side. So your right foot's going to be forward. This might be that we'll be facing away from each other. Do what works for you. I'm going to just face you. So your right foot is coming forward in between your hands, and your back foot is turning to face the long edge. You can take a semicircle in, so it's like a cartwheel the opposite way. The left arm comes up and then back, and then the right arm comes forward. Check your front knee. It's hard in baggy clothes, but front knee over the front ankle, back heel grounding down, and arms to a T shape. Looking over that front middle finger, feeling that fire and energy in this front thigh, but also grounding that back foot to equalize the foundations. All right, so now from there, breathing warrior. So in the inhale, you'll straighten that leg, reach the arms up, maybe gaze up or forward, and exhale, float back, warrior two. Keep it flowing. And 2 more. The last one should feel good. If it doesn't, don't do it. Okay, and then the option is there for reversing the warrior. Flip the front hand, reach, and then take the back hand to the back leg and choose that arm position. Right up in line with its shoulder or back. The front knee stays over its ankle. You should feel that strongly. Then inhale back, warrior two if you took it, and we all come down to this forearm to thigh. Left arm is up or at the diagonal, palm facing down. If it's there, just notice that it's not in front of your face, it's beyond, so behind. So there's space to look up if that's safe for your neck to do. The back foot's still grounding. Notice that this front leg wants to take all the work out of you, but you want that back foot to help. The right arm can lift if you did on the other side, just bring a bit more energy. Remember, all of these are options. And then look down, cut all the hands down. You that like vinyasas, go for it. If you need rest, take it. So we are at, yeah, perfect. So we'll just do a little bit more standing and then we'll take it into yin section, which is still going to be quite deep and strong, but in a different way. Where are we? Hopefully you'll still be at the front, but you can modify walking, stepping or jumping to the front of your mat. And then inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Now to stand, you can roll up or reverse one day, whichever feels nicer for you. And then shoulder roll when you get there. I think it's always important to do a balance. So we will do a balance now and then finish on our standing. So feet hip distance for this one. Little softness in the knees. We're going to take one-legged chair. So this one is a challenge. Play with it. Use a wall if you need and you have it around you. So yeah, this one will look like right ankle above left knee and flex the right foot. Now that might be your pose. Make sure you've got your safety wall or chair if you need it. If you want to go deeper, of course, you can keep that foot nice and flexed. Keep the knee as if it was in a chair. So you're still trying to have that nice knee in the behind the toes. That makes sense? And then you can always add the arms. Now those of you that you're finding this easy, you want more, you can bring the hands to the heart and you can bow a little bit deeper. Now if you can, see if you can work on hooking that foot on the upper arm, because there's an arm balance there. One day, I'll show you, but not today. But it's always nice to try and set up for these poses before we ever try. But if you can and you want to, you can bring the fingertips down, just feel that. And then the hardest part, coming out. So slowly, wherever you are, wherever you've been, well done. Straighten your leg, shake out standing leg, and then let's do the other side. Feet at distance, little softness in the knees, and then bring your left ankle above right knee, flexing the foot. And then a deep bend or a soft bend, doesn't really matter how far you go into this, you're balancing on one leg. So that is enough. Use a wall if you need it. Those of you going further, your arms could lift into this chair-like version, sitting low, or hands to your heart, play with sinking lower, hooking foot over that upper right arm, or fingertips down, playing with the weight distribution. Okay, coming out, wherever you are, coming all the way out slowly, straighten that leg, release it, and shake out. Well done. All right, last standing pose. So if you were in the middle of the mat, you can just step wide. Otherwise, from the front, just step your right foot back, make it nice and wide, or either any foot, really, so that you're facing both feet. Oh, pigeon toe. So they lightly turn in, so that helps the alignment of the foot parallel to the mat. Okay, and then hands to your hips. When you come down, you'll know if you need a wider or shorter stance. But you should know this one if it's been in your practice. The elbows squeeze together as you inhale, open the heart, and on the exhale, hinging forward from the hips. A softness in the knees, especially for anyone with tightness at the back of the legs, in the lower back. Now, some of you, although not all of us, will be able to get the fingertips down. Don't worry if that's not you. You can keep the hands on the hips. You'll just use more balance. So it's a little bit trickier for you, but think about sucking the belly in to create a little bit of core action, and then strong foundation, your feet. And then a little bend in the knees if you need it. If it feels like it's really pulling at the back of the knees, then have that bend in them. All right, those of you that can't get the fingertips or hands down, try and bring them in line with the feet if you can, and that will help you guide yourself inward towards the chest, towards the eyes, and then the crown of the head will eventually come in line with the feet. That's the intention. So we're not staying here too much longer, but anyone that has any other variations they want to take from here, you're welcome to. Those that have a strong headstand practice can do tripod headstand. You can do it from there and meet us if it's safe in your space. Depends how much space you've got. Anyway, everyone else, we're all going to inhale, come to a flat back. If you can get the fingertips down, you might just need a bend of the knees for this. Basically, this is like in between a puppy and downward dog. So we're going to walk the hands away, and you start to slowly, you want to keep the hips tracking in line, so you don't want to walk the hips any further, just like you would do in puppy. The hands come forward and you hammock or bow the chest down towards the floor for the same stretch that we had before. If it's too much, don't do it. Just come back and come out as slowly as you can. I know we've been in this pose for a while, so you've done really well. So we will come out, kind of lifting chest away from the floor, walking the hands towards you. And then slowly, hands to hips. They're going to feel really strong after this. Come all the way up. Well done. And then heel toe. So they slowly, in any way, heel to toe together. Or jump, if that's in you. And then shake out. All right, so into this second section of our yin postures. But like I say, still strong. We'll go first into lizard. So come down, however safe to you. We'll just take a very brief child's pose just to reset kind of in between this yang to yin section. So forehead down, just reconnect to your breath and your body. So whatever we've just done, let it go if that's possible. Enjoy the breath once again as it presses deeply against the chest towards the thighs, the ribs, and even the lower back. And let the exhales really soften and release you. Okay, we'll come up into that lizard. So onto hands and knees. There's a variation here that is an option that hopefully should feel quite nice. But if knees are an issue, cushions or blankets underneath your left knee. So you're going to want some sort of padding underneath left knee. It's really good being at home. You can do this in the Arctic. So then your right foot is coming forward and you want to walk it towards the edge of the mat. Okay, so then turn it lightly at an angle towards the right so that the knees know the direction that they are heading, the direction they're going. Now, anyone that this is strong, I've automatically gone into quite a strong psoas stretch there, but if you're really tight in your hips, then you just might want the knee underneath that, left knee underneath left hip, and that might still be enough for you. So there is two things we are working, the hip flexor on that back leg, and I'll show it from here, the hip flexor from the back leg, but also this front thigh and glute. So there's a lot going on in our lizard. And you can always add on to it. So those of you I know that can go a lot deeper, you'll come on to maybe the forearms. That could be enough. You could also, those of you that like stronger, you can tuck the back toes under and bring energy into that back leg. So even on the forearms, you could do that too. So yeah, that back knee is lifted, just in case you can't see. So yes, and then we hold. Holding the beauty. Yes, so it is hard to hold a pose because, I mean, normally we move through. We're always constantly in movement. So to hold a deep stretch like this, it can feel, bring a lot of emotion up with it. And depending on whether it feels good, then it could, if it doesn't, then it could be a frustration or a needing to get out of it. And that is absolutely okay. Listen to your body. But if it is just an emotion because it's not something that feels comfortable, but it's not pain, see if you can play with each and every time you find those postures, staying just that little bit longer to challenge yourself to push through that. If it's just mental, of course, if it's physical, then never push through that at all. Okay, so on to the variation. Those of you with your forearms down, come up onto the hands for this one. And those of you that are lifted in that back knee, you can stay lifted. But if you're lowered, you can stay lowered. You can do the same stretch from either way. Okay, so we're going to walk at a 45-degree angle on the opposite way to your leg. So you find the angle first, roughly, and then I'm terrible at math, so yeah, roughly, always. And then you walk out, just like we've been doing in that puppy pose, in that pose from wide leg forward fold. And you hold. For me, that's incredible. But for you, it might not feel good. If it doesn't, come out. Now, this knee, I should be saying, is constantly trying to track back in line with the toes, as always. And that's getting this amazing stretch here. If it's too much, just release. But if it's good, you'll know. I know some of you are going to be loving this. Oh, I love it. But yeah, breathe through it. It is intense. Come out if you need. We've just got this on the other side. So to come out, always walk back the way you came. You're going to need to really take your time out of this. If you had that back knee lifted, lower it. Oh, we were there a while. Now step that back, take a little stretch into that leg, maybe both legs, maybe down dog, maybe hip circles. Do whatever you need after that, because we've got it all over on the other side. Hopefully it feels good. I'm going to imagine you all loved it because I can't see your faces. So the right knee is going to be underneath the cushion if you're using it, or padding, and the left foot will come. Oh no, I've got that wrong, haven't I? Got that wrong? No, it is right. And then your left foot is coming on the outside of the mat, and the toes are tracking at a 45-degree angle-ish. Okay, and you use the depth that you need to feel enough, but not too much. You'll know. And if you're on the hands, it might just get a bit achy for the wrists, so you could come onto fists. You could use any kind of blocks, or I've got this amazing yoga bolster. These are just gold in yoga practice, but they're not everywhere. So that is always an option, or just modifying. So I think I said in last week, blocks or books stacked on top of each other with a padded blanket on top could be quite useful as props. But anyway, wherever you are, you've obviously done whatever you did on the other side. So if you lifted the back knee, if you came onto the forearms, so just find this lizard pose and breathe through it. Go through the emotions that might come up. Maybe, maybe not. We're not holding them super duper long tonight, so we shouldn't get too bad. But yeah, whatever you meet, just meet it. Like, look, there's whatever it is that you've met, and just say, yeah, there it is. Without trying to change any emotion or feeling or thought that comes up, we're giving a lot of power. And to our practice, we were like, oh, okay, I can meet something like that and be non-reactive. It's not always the case, but if it happens in yoga, you know you can do it outside. Okay, so coming up onto the hands, if you're on the forearms, let's go in at that diagonal. If it didn't feel good on the other side, just leave it. You can come out of this pose and take a child's pose and rest. Okay, so find your 45-degree angle in the opposite way to that knee. Keep that knee tracking in line with the toes, and then walk the hands out to any amount, So even if it's just a tiny, tiny millimeter, that's perfect as well. Okay, so then just breathing through the sensations. meeting what you meet with a smile. Right, now walk the hands in front of the back the way it came, back into center, and whatever you did on the other side, do the same. So it might be a downward dog, just to stretch out, some knee circles, hip circles. So yeah. And if it was just to go straight into a child's pose, do that. Okay. We will do the last one, even though I'm late because it's nice. We'll go into pigeon from there. For anyone that has knee injuries, I would just say don't do normal pigeon. Just come and lie on your back. Slowly, unlike me, and then bring your right ankle above your left knee, and then thread the needle. If you haven't done this before and that didn't make any sense, then you can always try pigeon, but definitely not if you have knee injury. So lying on the back, taking that thread the needle. So basically what we did from our standing balance. Okay, otherwise, right knee, right wrist, opening the foot over to the left, and then the left leg goes back to any degree. If you've got cushions, if you've got books, if you've got anything, blocks, you can use them and rest them underneath that thigh. And yeah, from a back bending start, so inhale here, and then exhale, bend the elbows and make it a forward folding resting pose. So after lizard, this one's a bit kinder, a bit gentler, unless having this knee at the flexion is an issue. So then thread the needle. Hopefully I explained it enough to have made sense. And if this doesn't feel good but normally does, don't worry. Every day this will be different. It is quite a strong stretch. But you should be feeling it around your right outer hip and glute, around that area. Sending your breath there to the area you feel. It's also a really good position, like our child's pose, to get the breath into the back body as you breathe in. As that breath comes into the belly, it fills up through and then further into the lower back, so it really reaches the kidneys. It's incredibly good to get the breath there, expanding. If you're in thread the needle on your back, you're going to do the same on the other side. And the same with pigeon. We're going to slowly come up and out. So lift the head, heart, come onto hands, walk the hands towards you. And then I like a downward dog from there, but you might want just to slide back to all fours. And we'll meet on all fours for the other side, unless you come in another way. Left knee, left wrist. Or thread the needle, left foot or ankle above your right knee or thigh. Right leg goes back. And before we come down, inhale, back bend. Exhale, folding down. And find pigeon on the other side. Notice the difference if there is one on each side. Never feeling attached to one side or the other, just noticing them different if they are. Still staying the same amount on this side towards that left. Again, feeling the stretch on your left outer hip and glute. And I should say, but if you flex the feet, it just protects the knee joint a little. So always flexing the feet when there's any kind of flexion in the knee joint. Okay, let's come up, so very, very slowly. If you're lying on your backs, you can stay there, we will meet you, unless you want to do a little core thing to come down. So coming up, Whatever you did on the other side, do the same. So if it was downward dog, take a downward dog. If it was sliding your knee back to all fours, do that. And we all meet on all fours, but slowly we're going to come onto our backs. So you can sit with your knees up, hugging your shins, hugging your knees, crown of the head facing the sky, sitting nice and tall. Take a deep breath in. Those that like a challenge, come into Navasana. We'll come from Navasana down to your lying. Those of you, otherwise, you can still use the core, but lightly. You reach the arms out with the feet connected and roll down this way. Chin tucked, just to protect the neck. Now bring the knees in towards your chest and rock side to side. So well done. Got most of it done. We're going to do final postures now. So half spinal twist, because we didn't do any twists at all, or really. So you'll bring your feet down and straighten your left leg. Yes. So then bring your right knee in towards your chest, give it a hug, and then bring your right arm out to shoulder level, palm down. Inhale and then exhale. Just take that left knee over to the right with that left hand. Hold on. Right knee to the left with your left hand. Now, anyone with neck pain would look up. You could otherwise look the opposite way to that knee. And if the knee is connected or thereabouts, you can take that cat's tail version where you bend your right foot and you take your right hand, I've got that wrong, left foot, bend your left foot, your lowered long leg, straight leg. Oh dear, and then take that foot with your right hand and taking a little bit deeper, a little bit twist, but only if that works. Otherwise, the leg is straight and you're in that first version. Either way, breathe into your right side body. Okay, and to release, bringing your right knee back into the chest, give it a squeeze, and then do the same on the other side. So left knee in, straighten your right leg, give your left knee a squeeze. Take your left arm out to the left, your right hand to your left knee. Inhale and exhale. Take the knee to the right. It may or may not come down to the floor, but it really doesn't matter. Your shoulder may lift, especially that left side, but don't worry, that can lift. It just gives it a little bit more of a stretch in towards the upper back if it's pressed down. And if you took that variation before, you bend your right knee, take your right foot, perhaps with your left hand, if that's available and feels good. If not, leave it. Breathe into the left side body. Okay, and then slowly things are coming up. So looking up center, if you weren't, bring your left knee back in, give it a hug. And then the other right knee, bring it in, give them both a hug. Rock side to side, lightly massaging into the spine. Okay, and then lastly, happy baby. So feet flat, legs at a 90-degree angle, and the idea, if you can take the outsides of the feet, great. If not, great, take the outsides of the legs. And the idea is to get the knees to the floor, near the armpits. That's the intention or the direction. Don't worry if it's nowhere near. And that gets a lovely stretch all round to the hips, the outer hips, inner hips. And you can use massage again with the back, so rocking, or just stay still. Okay, so that was our final posture. We're going to come into Shavasana. If you've got blankets, make sure you're warm. If you've got lower back pain, have your knees up, TP knees, feet together, knees together. Arms alongside the body, and yeah, that's it. Find your resting position. So I was going to do alternate nostril breathing, but we won't do that one today. I ran out of time, so we'll do instead 7-11. So very yin practice. I think I know pretty much everybody here. So, and it's simple. If you haven't done it, you breathe in for the count of 7 and you breathe out for the count of 11. So find your Shavasana position. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. If you like them open, just fix them on a point. Have that drishti, that focus. And yeah, you're going to count. If I count, it might not work as easily. So inhaling for 7, exhaling for 11. And to get the breath really long for the exhale, you've got to make the breath as slow and as natural as you can on that inhale and exhale. So we'll do it together for a couple of minutes. Make this one your last one. So finishing on the exhalation. So simple but really effective. Something to use before bedtime. This is a calming nighttime technique. You could do it at the start of your day just to set your system in a really calm, steady place as well. So yeah, really useful. So now no control to your breath, just as we let go of control to your body. So you just watch everything that comes up, just as we did before in the practice. Anything that comes, just meeting it with, oh yeah, there it is. With a smile, with gratitude, but without energy. So without a story behind it. Just noticing it for what it is without trying to change or control it. And that could be a thought, an emotion, a sensation. It's the same for each. And then when it noticeably disappears, you can just draw the attention back to the breath, our lovely anchor. All right, we're going to come out now. So very, very slowly. Think about breathing deeper into the belly, so like a balloon filling up with air. And then exhale, release the air out. Now move your fingers and toes to wake up the body. Have a good stretch, so feet together, arms overhead. Stretch from your fingers to your toes. And then release the arms down. And when you're ready, bring the knees into your chest. Give yourselves a hug. And then with that hug, roll it over onto your right side. And wait there for a few breaths. And then come up when you're ready. Sitting, any position that you feel comfortable with, but keeping length in the spine. Bring your hands together, the heart prayer. Take an inhale as we sit tall, and then exhale as you bow the head down to the heart. Namaste. Lift the head, the heart, and then rub your hands together. And cup the hands over the eyes, breathe in. As you breathe out, releasing the hands down and open the eyes when you're ready. So thank you all. I've just remembered, I'm sorry, David, I forgot an inversion. So on Friday, there's inversions. I'm so sorry. Anyway, have a wonderful week. Enjoy the sunshine. It's lovely to practice with you all. And that's it. Bye-bye.